All right, welcome to our first post-game Swampcast of the season. Florida taking care of Hawaii, 56-10, and it was an interesting first quarter, Robbie. Actually, a really bad first quarter for Florida. Offensively, they were out of sync. Defensively, they were giving up a lot of passing yards.
Yeah, penalties, and 0-0 at the quarter. I don't think anybody expected that. You know, the defense got off to a good start, got a big stop early, then the offense just kind of looked totally out of whack, like you said. That, you know, nobody making plays at all. You kept thinking, where are all these playmakers? Nobody did a thing, and then that kind of changed later on in the game.
It did. You know, the second quarter, it was really the special teams and the defensive touchdown. The offense still didn't look sharp.
Yeah.
And again, I don't think Florida showed a whole lot.
I don't either. It was very vanilla, a lot of running the ball, and you know, the defense had more playmakers today than the offense.
Yeah.
And Tebow even mentioned that they may have scored more in terms of the way they score scrimmages around here. They would have won that game against the offense today, which that didn't happen last year.
No, and I think we saw an improved defense, but again, it's that Hawaii team's not very good.
I don't know about the secondary next week either, how much they're going to be tested. I think, you know, the Tennessee game later on we'll know more, but you know, there are good signs that there's improved play there, and they look well coached for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think you saw a team about what you expected after that first quarter, and obviously Florida's got some guys who can go to the house, and they didn't throw the ball deep hardly at all. They did twice. Once was a touchdown, once should have been a touchdown. Deontay Thompson couldn't hold on to it. So they didn't show a lot, but we saw Jeff Demp's speed. We'd been hearing about it. We've been hearing about it. You saw a little bit in practice, but from the press box, the angle, the Hawaii. Now the Hawaii guy probably wasn't very fast, okay, but the angle he had was ridiculous. There's no way.
It looked like
there's no way he doesn't make that tackle, and he just blew by him like he was standing still.
Yeah, and you know, we just talked to Demp's too, and he goes, he was running pretty fast, but not that fast. He can run a lot faster, which is kind of scary.
Wow.
But he says maybe he'll get to turn it loose next week against Miami.
Well, I tell you, it was pretty clear these guys too are ready for that game next week. I mean, just the look in Tebow's eyes, just the way they were talking about Miami. You know, it's a rivalry game. It may not go down as a rivalry game because Tennessee, FSU, and Georgia are considered, but you can tell these guys want to play Miami.
Yeah, and I think Urban Meyer's made a big deal out of it throughout the offseason. Just he came off the field today, people were cheering, and he kept saying, "Big game next week, big game next week." And you know, I think that's the mentality of this whole team. Big game next week. It's the U, like Tim Tebow even called it the U.
Have you ever seen that before?
No.
When an opponent called it the U?
No.
But you know, Tim's a little different, as we all know. Interesting, one last thing before we go. They did not run Tebow a whole lot today. Tebow said he had one bruise on him.
Yeah.
So that's
that
pretty
has
good.
to be a record.
That is a record low for
So that
Tim
means
Tebow.
there are fewer bruises on Hawaii's defense too then.
Yes.
From
Except the
hit
guy
him.
who hit Chris Rainey at the goal line. I think he's got a bruise on him. That was a ferocious hit.
Yeah.
He took the worst.
One more guy though, Pat. What about Ahmad Black?
Yeah.
He
you know,
makes plays.
remember
He's a
all
player.
through the summer. Oh, the safety, the strong safety is going to be the issue. And who was the player of the game? Ahmad Black. 2 interceptions, 1 return.
One in the end zone and 1 return, and then Major Wright with an interception return. So the safeties really acquitted themselves quite well today in the open.
1-0, off to a good start. Everything went well, and we'll see what happens next week. We'll be back with our usual pregame Swampcast, and then of course after the Miami game at about 2 in the morning, I guess we'll be doing one.
It's going to be late.
It's going to be late, but that's fine. That's what we're here for. Until next week, Pat Dooley of the Gainesville Sun, Robbie Andreu of the Gainesville Sun, saying so long from the Swamp.